Hello and welcome to the 32nd episode of The 30s. My name is Clint.
My name is Uncle Marcus.
Is it? Uncle Marcus?
Yeah, I don't know why I hesitated there.
Are you going through an identity crisis?
No. Well, no, I'm not, but I don't know if I've decided on just Marcus yet or
Okay, well, before this, Prince, we have Caesar here is with us as well.
Hey.
Hello, Caesar. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of testing out because my entire online presence, how big as it is Uncle Marcus. Even
Right.
not just like Instagram, but like on Twitch and like YouTube and like the socials. It's all Uncle Marcus. And I've met people online that I've now met in real life who are like, Uncle Marcus? I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Oh, look at you.
And they still say it like when we're face to face. So I don't know. I think I'll have to keep doing it. I'll just keep doing it.
What's the origin of Uncle Marcus?
It's from work. I got it as a work nickname. And it was never explained why I was called this, but here's why I think so. Is that as we've noticed on this show, I'm kind of like crotchety or like a little crotchety, I guess is the right word.
That's a good PG word for it.
Yeah, no, it's got crotch in it. But it's anyway. So I think just putting out that presence, like the guy who gave it to me was like, you're kind of like an uncle. You have that, give off those vibes of like, you know, you're not a parent, you're an uncle, which is not an insult. I didn't take it as that. I was like, oh, okay.
You're like, yeah, I'm not your parent. Go to work.
Yeah. So they would just call me uncle at work. They would call me, and then it'd be like on the roster, like for the day who's working. It'd be like the name and what section you're working. And one day, the guy that gave it to me like made the rosters, and he wrote on instead of my name, he just put uncle on there. Or I think he put Uncle Marcus on there. And then people would read it and like, who is Uncle Marcus? And like, oh, that's me. And so it just became a thing like that, where like Uncle Marcus was on the roster. And then there'd be people that arrived at that location, like not knowing that, and would be like, oh, like before they met me, or they would meet me as Uncle Marcus. And then it just stuck to where like there's people that I don't work with them anymore, but they used to work with me and they call me Uncle. Like they don't say Marcus. They're like, hey, Uncle, like you were going to the thing. What? Yeah. And like it just kind of stuck. And then at the suggestion of one of my other friends, years ago, I had all of my social profiles and like video game profiles and like Twitch stuff. They all had different names. And he was like, why don't you you should just have the same name for all of them, and it should include your name. That way, people know like, oh, this is the same person. And because before I didn't have I don't remember what it was, but most of them were, but they didn't have my name in it. It would just be like, oh, fucking. I use Chewies. I use Chewies a lot. Chewies I still use. Like if I have to name like a character or something in a game, it's always Chewies. And that's another origin story too. But stuff like that, to where I changed it all to Uncle Marcus. So like everything is Uncle Marcus now because it has my name, and it's actually my nickname is Uncle Marcus. And so people know me as Uncle Marcus.
So is it weird? So who have you met that only calls you Uncle Marcus now?
People that I've met online. It's like,
so
the person who made our logo. No, I was introduced to, or we became acquainted as Uncle Marcus. And so like, there's other people too, but like, it's like, yeah, when like we've talked about making internet friends that then become friends in real life. I don't know have we talked about it on here?
A little bit.
Yeah,
but it's happening more now.
It is happening more now.
It's snowballing now.
So weird to like meet people online through either Instagram or Twitch or like YouTube, and you just start talking to each other, and it's like, oh, I live in the LA area. Like, well, I live in the LA area, and then you meet up somewhere, and I'm like, but you talk long enough to know like, okay, they're normal, like they're normal people, and then you just meet them in real life, and then that's how you make friendships that way. It's like a weird way to make friendships, but it's happening nowadays. But yeah, so the people like that I have met. And then I remember so just the guy with the logo, we'll use him. When we first spoke, he was like, do I call you Uncle Marcus or just Marcus?
That's the question.
And I was like, you can call me whatever the fuck. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to respond to both. Like, if you say uncle, I'm going to be like, what? Like, I'll know. And so some like the other person, so like Danica, like I don't want to say her name here. I don't know why. But like I've met her in real life before, and she for so long has called me Uncle Marcus online. And then I met her and she just said Marcus. And I was like, oh, that sounds weird. Like, you can just, I didn't correct her. But like, it was like, oh, I am Uncle Marcus to this person. Because I've been Uncle Marcus to so many people already, but just people that I know. But then once you meet them face to face, and then we had that like internet connection, and then they say like your name instead of Uncle Marcus, I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
Whoa. So it is really your persona now.
I guess.
You have to kind of carry it.
Yeah.
Like Rodney Dangerfield. That wasn't his real name. You got to just carry it on.
Where did that name come from?
I think he made it up because he was out in the era where...
I don't know. Can you see what Rodney Dangerfield's real name is?
I'm looking it up already.
I think that's one. You know, like Tom Cruise, that's not his real name.
That's not his real name
That's not his real name. Who was I looking up today? Vin Diesel.
Well, I can tell that's not his real name.
Pretty obviously not his real name.
That sounds like a porn name.
Yeah. Like he works on cars.
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield, Jacob Rodney Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
He was the son of Jewish parents. Wasn't there a thing where, like, because of the anti-Semitism, like people that had Jewish last names would change them?
Yeah, that's a thing, because early comedy, the Jews would be more so doing vaudeville at the very beginning, because that was kind of seen as like a lower form, where they would be performing with like strippers before them, and like have to deal with stuff like that, and then it was, but that's also why like, there's such a Jewish presence in comedy too, because like this is what they had, and this is where they could go to like vent,
just entertainment,
power,
like strong Jewish presence. Strippers and comedy. How it would be really interesting to see comedy and strippers together today.
Like nowadays, if you did vaudeville now,
but it's like, do the strippers come to the comedy club or do the comedians go to the strip club?
It was like a twofer,
because I feel like. But I'm saying like today.
Yeah, so it'd be like, if Flappers also had Flappers going around. Or you're doing stand-up and you're doing an open mic at the Purring Kitten.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is, because the crowd at the Spearmint Rhino, I feel like was not there for a comedy show.
For comedy, yeah.
But the crowd at Flappers, depending on the crowd, is not going to really care if like some girl takes her top off while the comedians. Yeah. What if they happen at the same time? Or like someone's in the middle of their set and then you just get two strippers on the side of the stage and just start like stripping. This is how I would strip.
Because they do that in the more recent season of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
I haven't seen
So they
that.
show it. And they show a lot.
The vaudeville stuff?
Yeah, it's pretty vaudeville-y, even though they're like, I think they're in the 60s. Because she's trying to do stand-up at a strip club. Because she sees that as like women are like powerful here.
Yeah.
So like, this is where I could do stand-up and like not get arrested. Because then in the time period of that show is like when Lenny Bruce is getting arrested for saying stuff.
Oh,
because that was a big thing too, where comedians were getting arrested for saying really not even that inappropriate stuff, but it was enough to where they're like, you're committing a crime.
Right.
Profanity.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, what a time. That happened today, they'd all be gone.
They'd be done, yeah. We'd all be arrested when we're what, time's up or canceled?
Maybe.
I
feel like we'd be arrested already or at least I would be arrested for sure for things that I've said on here. I say some wild shit sometimes.
That's okay. This is where it's free. This is a free space.
For now. But if this was back then, if this is all out there, this is on the internet, so whatever the fuck. So you brought this to me and I did not do my due diligence and follow up. So you're going to have to walk me through all of this and give me all of your opinions. But the Golden Globes happened.
Well, it happened out of nowhere. Caesar, did you know that it was happening?
Yes, I was excited to watch just the monologue.
I didn't. Just monologue? Did you like it?
Like it is a complicated word. I'll let you get into it. I'll give you. It was
hosted by Jared Carmichael, who I watched his more recent stand-up special. I think he's great.
Okay.
He has a different style where he's more like his special. He's like sitting down in a room with people. It's a club, like a comedy club, but he's like, it's very personable. And if people are like chiming in, I think they're like, he queued them up to chime them in. but like
he involved the audience, or he told them beforehand
in a certain way.
It's like, hey, at 2 minutes, say this.
Yeah, because he's very like, yeah. So my dad.
Did we see him at the Roosevelt?
No,
that was somebody else.
No,
okay.
Because you remember him because he's very like quiet.
I know who he is.
But that's like his stand-up
I feel like
style.
We've seen him. I don't know.
Maybe, but he hosted, and it just seemed like because I didn't watch it live, but I saw what people were saying on Twitter. And it just seemed like everyone was so shocked by the stuff he was saying. He
more so than Ricky Gervais when he does it.
I'm like, yeah, like come on, like
he'd be like,
I don't think it was
because he straight up insults the crowd.
Yeah, like he did it.
Yeah.
To get him.
Right.
He's going for it.
Well, I think there's a difference between Ricky Gervais, who's like, hey, I'm going to say something wacky that's offensive, whereas Gerard Carmichael's just like, fuck you guys, basically.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it was. Yeah. He's like, I'm just here for the $500,000 they're going to give me. And then at another point, he's like, I didn't think I would have spent so much time telling you guys to shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah, he was getting upset.
Yeah, and it's
he was like, hey, like the whole time, because people were talking, I guess. I've never noticed it before, but they're all drunk at the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that would be tough, but like, I wouldn't be like, fuck you to everybody.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
And the monologue was not a monologue at all. It was just like, I'm here because they paid me this amount of money and I couldn't say no. And that was it. There was no like jokes per se, right? Yeah. Like, there was nothing I could recite to you guys. They'll be like, haha.
Like Eddie Murphy was funnier when he accepted his award because he was like, I'll tell you the three rules of life. 1, pay your taxes. 2, keep your head down. And 3, keep Will Smith's goddamn name out of your goddamn mouth.
Yeah, I might have heard that. I did. Yeah. The only thing I heard from it was Regina Hall. I don't know if this is like an award
because that connects with
Kevin Costner was
that connects with the
this is reminding me of what you're saying
about the rain.
Okay, yeah, because you're saying Jared Carmichael's like fuck all of you guys, and she's just like Kevin Costner's in Santa Barbara. He's having a great time. He doesn't even.
She's like he's not here because it's flooding in Santa Barbara.
Like, oh,
she's like
so
laughing the entire time.
He's comfy in his home. Yeah, it's really good. That's the only thing I saw. And she's just like, I guess I'll take the award for him. Yeah. The audience is laughing, so it's she's not bombing. Like
she's right. I mean, I can't.
She's like poor Kevin Costner.
So sorry. So sorry. You're so successful, and there's flooding stopping. That's a tough one.
Yeah. That was.
I don't know.
She was.
I don't
funny.
really feel that bad.
The whole story of that is that there was flooding to the point where the freeway was inaccessible, and like 14 people died.
You know what? I was getting
harsh.
I was getting my haircut a couple of days ago, and that store. I don't know if it was Santa Barbara. I think it was like San Jose area. Mm-hmm. But there was the headline was that like 12 people died in a mudslide, and I was like, how do you die in a, because they weren't like on a mountain or anything. I was like, how do you die in a mudslide? You can't see it coming. You can't just.
Is that how you die? Though?
It's not like an avalanche, like a flash mudslide. You see it over there and you're like, I'm not going to drive or walk that direction. Mm-hmm. Or you can like step over it. I don't know. It's not. How do you die in a mudslide?
I don't know. When I think of dying in a mudslide, where was that one?
It was like it was up north. It was San Jose area, I think.
Because when I think, I could die from a mudslide, is when I'm in Carbon Canyon.
That's what I'm saying. That big you're in
wall,
right? But you're in
that's when the mudslide would happen and kill me. At that point,
I feel like even if a mudslide happened there, if you were in your car or inside, you're fine.
It could crush your car.
It's not going to a mudslide, not an avalanche, a mudslide. Because they were showing pictures of it, and like this just looks like muddy water.
I don't know. It could take the car with you into the.
But if you're inside the car, it's not going to like. You may be like jostled around, but you're not going to be like crushed. It's not going to. Mud can't crush the car.
I don't know.
The pictures they showed made it look very unthreatening. To where I was like, why would you? I thought like it's people that are walking outside, and they slipped in it or something. But I'm like, if there's a storm that bad, why are you walking? Like, are you walking your dog in this? Like, why? I'm going for my 5 p.m. walk every day. It's a storm. Like this is not just like raining. This is like a fucking crazy storm. I had to go to work one of those days, and I don't even want to fucking drive to work because it was the time I had to leave. It was really bad, and I was like, I'm just gonna call out because like I don't want to drive in this. Like who's walking around outside when it's like that?
I don't know. Just Is it people who
dummies
who just think, oh, this isn't going to be that bad?
I think so. 12 people.
12. How do you get 12 of them?
The mudslide? How do you get 12?
Hey, Mud. Mudkip, what'd you do?
Mudkip. Yeah, I don't know. It was hard to wrap my head around 12 people. It was all succumbing to a mudslide.
I feel for that. I feel for people getting taken by it. But when Ellen DeGeneres makes a video and she's like, Mother Nature is not happy. She's not happy. That's when I'm like,
Get inside your 14-room mansion.
Yeah, go back inside.
You're fine.
You're fine.
Yeah, it's fully staffed. I'm sure you have your personal chef in there as well, making you a beautiful salad. You know, you can chow down on that and then chow down on Portia's box afterwards. You're probably having a great time.
Portia's box.
This goes back to what I said about you saying wild shit on here. Anyway, enough of Portia's box. Go back to the Golden Globes.
So yeah, Golden Globes. Another part of the Golden Globes was apparently people were getting really mad about the send-off song.
The send-off song is that pulls you off the stage, right?
Yeah. So when you're giving a speech at the Golden Globes or the Oscars,
it's time limit.
They have the song that's like, oh, you need to start wrapping it up, wrap-up song, and people were getting so pissed. Michelle Yeoh?
Yeah, I read
Yeoh,
that.
Is that how you say her last name? Yeoh.
Yeah, I think so. I read that headline.
She was in a great movie, probably the best movie of last year. Everything,
Everywhere, all at once.
Great movie. I loved it. She's like, shut up, please. I can beat you up. I'm serious. And said that while it was playing off.
Did they stop the song?
I think they did. They were like, oh.
They make it go louder.
Yeah. Yeoh went on to complete her full speech. The first one to beat the music.
Oh my God.
And then later on, people like Colin Farrell were like, I'm just going to do him a whole speech because he's Irish. I'm just going to do it. I don't care.
Scottish. Is he Scottish?
He's Irish.
Irish, okay.
It's an Irish movie. And he's like, yeah, you can forget that piano, is what he says. And then everyone kept having something to say about it. Austin Butler was like, yeah, you can at least play Suspicious Minds or something during his speech.
Suspicious.
Who else?
Other victims of the wrap-up included M.M. Kiravani, Jeremy Allen White, Lip from...
From The Bear. Now he's Jeremy Allen White from
Quinta
The Bear.
Brunson. She was distracted by Brad Pitt, so I get that.
Okay. She's distracted. She couldn't say her speech?
Yeah, she was going, and then she was like, wait, Brad Pitt in the front?
Oh. Was it a bit? Or she actually
I think she was really distracted.
Okay. Good for her.
That's it. I don't know. I'd be rushed.
Part of me is like, for the speech, my whole thing with those award shows is like, it's such a weird, like, masturbatory event where it's like all these people are just jerking each other off.
Yeah.
Because it's all the awards are it's them vote, or not, maybe not necessarily. It's like industry is deciding what they think is the best, like, not us, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's all like a weird kind of, they're all just jerking each other off. And they're so rich that they just look like money. They're eating great food. They're having the time of their lives. We're watching it for some reason. And then the award itself was not an award that we chose.
Yeah.
So it's like when I watch them, I don't watch them. But the last time I watched them when I was a kid, like, because that was like a thing to do. And then you get older and you realize what I just said. And it's like, why are these still a thing? And they're going away. They are going away.
I don't know. I liked them for a long time.
Right, but
for a very long time. But then I liked it because it'd be funny. It'd be something entertaining to see.
It is entertaining.
It'd be like you're watching stand up.
Yeah.
They made the jokes for a reason. And I'd try to see some of the movies. There were a couple of years where I saw all the movies and I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
Like the La La Land year I saw all the movies. But now Golden Globes, I don't even know it was going to happen on a Tuesday.
That's what I'm saying is like you would always know when they're coming.
Yeah,
and now it's known. Like, oh, it happened? I only knew it happened because you. Or, well, I knew because of Twitter a little bit before you. But you're like, hey, the Golden Globes thing. And I was like, oh.
It had been a couple of years just because they didn't do them last year. Not because of COVID, because of the whole reorganizing their racism.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. So and that's also because the Golden Globes are ran by who are they ran by?
Hollywood Foreign Press Association.
Yeah, Hollywood Foreign Press, and they're very, very sketchy.
Foreign, they're very
all white people. Yeah. They didn't have any people of color until George Floyd died, according to Gerard Carmichael. So.
Fact check that, please. I'm just kidding.
I believe it though.
But yeah, that's kind of now when I hear about award show, that's always kind of in the back of my mind, that little rant I just did, or like, I don't. All right, and so like with those award speeches, it's like, get off the stage, like you know, like you're. I don't. What is this? What is this? You're talking to these. I don't know. It's like a weird thing where it's like, okay, well, we got 2 hours, so like save your long pontifications for like Instagram or something.
Well, now it seems so cool in the day. Like I understand how comedians would have that as a dream and a goal to host an award show, because you had stuff like you had like the
it's good material,
like the Don Rickles, Frank Sinatra kind of Oscars and Golden Globes, where like they're making fun of everybody and it's really fun, and you enjoy seeing it.
Well, that's what's good about it, because it's such good material, because they're all just in their own little world that like none of us are a part of, and they're just not real people.
Yeah,
you know, really.
But then I think what might have turned it more recently was when Kevin Hart had to say no to it, or he was like, I'm not going to do it now, because they were grilling him for those really old tweets he had.
Oh, yes,
where he said some stuff. And it's like, if Kevin Hart can't do the Oscars now, like, I don't know. Because I don't know. He's a big get.
Yeah.
To the Oscars.
No, actually, he's a small get. He's like 5'2". Hey.
Jeez.
Can you fact check how tall he is? I'm just kidding. No, just don't do that.
It's like 5'3".
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I don't know. Tell me more about what happened, though. Any other juicy topics or things?
It was awkward. Jared Carmichael brings out 3 Golden Globes awards, and he's like, so Tom Cruise donated his back. He didn't want them. And then he said something about one of the Scientology people.
Oh.
So, yeah, he said that, so he found the 3 Golden Globes of Tom Cruise return. He's like, I'm willing to trade them in for the safe return of Shelley Miscavige or something, the wife of the Scientology guy who went missing. And it just felt so flat. Like, like it's just like,
nobody was into it.
Yeah, you can't really. I think the Scientology thing is kind of hard to make fun of.
Especially because all the people in there are like Scientologists.
Yeah, they're just like afraid of the wrath of Scientology. Did he return Golden Globes? That's the thing? Tom Cruise? Or is that just a bit?
I think that was just a bit.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's why it was so confusing.
Yeah, that's why
it was a weird bit.
It'd be different if that was like a big story. Or like was he there, Tom Cruise?
No.
What's his real name? You said he had a different name.
He has a real name.
Okay, I think he's Caesar. Because like that would be funny if Tom Cruise did like I'm not getting a more for like he had some kind of like crazy reason, some kind of like social standing thing.
Thomas Cruise Matapor. I don't know how to say that.
Matapor.
Mapother. Mapother. You want to see it?
Mapothecary.
Mapother.
Yeah, Mapother the Fourth.
Yeah.
Weird. Huh. I didn't know that. It's like
I would change it to Tom Cruise too.
Yeah. I'm Mr. Mapother the Fourth.
Mapother. Hello, sir.
Mr. Mapother.
How did a name like that get to 4 people?
What is the origin of that? Try and see if you can find the origin of Mapother. Because at first, when you were saying like, oh, maybe like that's a Greek name, but then spelling it out, no, that's Mr. Mapother.
Jeez.
Okay. Yeah, it's a no for Mr. Mapother.
It's a no, Mr. Mapother.
trying to get a dinner reservation, like table for 2 for Mapother.
Mapother, oh, you're in the back.
Really funny, okay, really funny. I think it's a joke. Like Mapother, that's not a name.
England
comes in.
English.
Oh,
English.
Okay.
The deep roots were in Dorset in southwest England. The first reference was in 1588. Richard Mapother.
Interesting, and he's the 4th. Oh,
interesting.
Okay, well, Golden Globes, smash or pass?
Pass, I think.
Okay.
Those both sound like good things.
I don't,
Smash or pass?
I don't know. I was thinking of like a yes or a no, but it would be like yes or no.
Smash or pass.
Smash or pass. Okay.
Pass.
Okay. Do that.
Pass.
Okay. That's cheap Golden Globes.
Sorry.
I don't know. Maybe I'll look up some stuff now that I'm hearing some more about it. There is some interesting.
Because I thought wasn't Tina Fey and Amy Poehler going to do it?
Not this year, but they've done it for years.
Yeah.
But they bailed?
I don't know if they agreed to this year. I think that they had done it for a few years and then they didn't do it this year.
Oh.
Lame.
Well.
They're goats.
Yeah. Yeah, those old goats.
I watched them do anything.
Old Billy goats. So you had to get car maintenance done today. Or you tried to?
Yeah. I've been looking at my car, and I've been inspired by a certain franchise of movies.
Hold on. This is a good 30s topic, because when you get a little bit older, you realize car maintenance is very important. So continue about your car maintenance.
And I look at my car, and I'm like, okay, because I've never been a car person.
Uh-huh.
I've never been like a gearhead when I'm thinking about my car all the time, or like, how can I juice up the wheels or fix the engine or do all these things.
Or just having a nice car. Like, do you ever think about, like, I just want like a nice...
Yeah, because I'm just like, oh, my car got hit.
Always
I
just
gotta
like beat
get
up,
just something to get me through now.
It's always just been kind of a like, I just need something. I'm not gonna splurge and like get a BMW or Mercedes.
Yeah, because in my head before it was like, oh, it's gonna get banged up at some point.
Okay, that's some okay.
Like a dent in it. And
Got
it's
it.
gonna. I'm gonna have to like parallel park in LA, and who knows who's gonna touch it.
It's gonna get like at least like the front and the back because
because you have to find
squeeze
a way
in there.
Like.
Yeah,
but then today I'm like, no, I gotta have good wheels. I have to go big. I have to do this. Like, it's a big deal. It's like taking care of your body.
Yeah.
And like this week I've had extra time to take care of my body. I did like a day of a fast.
Oh, fast.
Limits.
Mm-hmm.
Limits. I found my limits.
Okay.
And a day.
Speaking of falling flat.
I could do a day. A day was.
I've done a day fast. It's not too bad.
That was good. But
you just have to keep your mind off of it.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
And then go to bed earlier.
Mm-hmm. Or whenever you get hungry, just like drink
a
lot of water. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Go
just guzzle it. And I feel really good after that. Like of just staying off of food. And then when you say, oh, I'm going to do a fast, your brain goes, oh, we're doing a fast. We don't have to think about what we're going to eat today.
Okay.
And that takes away a little bit of the effort you have to put into your day. Mm-hmm. You don't realize sometimes how much of an effort it is to think, what am I going to make for breakfast, lunch, dinner?
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why like even meal prepping is good.
Yeah.
Because then you take that out of the way, you're like, oh, I have a
I wish
salad.
I was good or diligent enough to do meal prep.
I've been good at it at
it's
times.
It's hard for me. Because it's just, especially because my schedule is always like 14-hour days sometimes, and you don't know when. And it's like, and
yeah, in a 14-hour day, do you make like 2 lunches?
I don't make anything. I buy lunch at work, or I get like I'll just not eat really, and then I just have like fast food because there's nothing open.
Damn,
and it sucks. But then like the meal prep stuff is hard because I don't want to eat like the same shit all the time, you know? Because for me, like the only things you can meal prep really are just like meat, vegetables, rice, or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's like variations. Small variations, but then you put it all together and you're like, well, I don't want to eat this today. But then you have to because it's going to go bad. Mm-hmm. So, and then there's times where I just don't, like you were saying, like thinking about breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like I usually just eat whenever I'm hungry. So like I sometimes, like today I didn't eat until like 2:00.
Damn.
And I woke up at like 9-ish, maybe. Mm-hmm. And it was because I told you about my day earlier. So I was kind of like doing stuff today to where like I just didn't think about it. And then like around 1 or 2, when things had calmed down, I was like, I should probably eat something today. And then I noticed I was hungry. And then like I probably won't eat the rest of the day because I had a big sandwich today.
Ooh,
a Jersey Mike's sandwich.
Ooh, Jersey Mike's. Yeah.
So it's just hard with the meal prep stuff because it's like it's too much. I like to have they have those meals you can buy. Like I think one of them is called Factor. Mm-hmm. But they just send you pre-made food meals like that. Not like HelloFresh where you have to still make it, but like they send you just those meals, but they're very expensive.
Yeah, it seems like too much of a commitment when you could essentially, because what you should meal prep is probably going to be meat, veggies, rice.
Yeah.
That's probably what's going to last the whole week after you cook it once.
Yeah.
So anything else that's like...
it's not really prep.
It's just microwaved food at that point. Mm-hmm. That sounds good for you.
And we talk about going to the car stuff.
So the car stuff
leads into.
Well, because I've really been thinking about cars because of a certain franchise called the Fast and Furious franchise.
But also called. What have you called it?
I call it White Boys and Latinas, the saga. AKA family.
Yeah.
We're all a family. We're a family here.
What's with why this renewed Because have you watched them before? It's not a first time go through.
I wasn't really big into them growing up.
Okay.
I remember specifically seeing Fast 5 in 2011 because I saw every movie at midnight.
Okay.
And that was fun because that seemed like everybody's in this movie. It's now that I've seen them up to episode 6 now, that's like the Avengers of Fast and Furious, where they've had all these separate movies and
how many
bring
are
them
there?
all in there.
How many are there right
There's
now?
9.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
And the 10th one's coming out soon. Yeah.
Okay. So explain to me why this is the thing right now.
Well, because I've been told, just growing up in Southern California, I've noticed that because I'm a white boy with blue eyes, certain girls will be interested in me. Certain ones will talk to me. Usually, girls that don't have blue eyes. And so I always thought in the back of my head, like, why is there a thing for that? And it's like you grow up and you're like, oh well, people want what they don't have.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, you're short, you want a tall guy.
Right.
You want the opposite, or you want your mom.
Is that what you want?
I want the opposite. So
let's unpack that real quick.
Someone told me that she was like, because she has like an 18-year-old son, and she's like, oh, twice.
But your mom?
My friend.
Oh,
my friend Irene. Her son's dated like 2 girls that look just like her.
Oh, God.
I'm like, that's really weird.
Caesar, does Carla look like your mom?
No, not at all.
Does she act like your mom?
No.
Okay.
Thank God.
Good. There we go. That's what I wanted to hear. Ding.
Anybody? One time it was like I had like a poster of like Natalie Portman in my room, and she was like, "Oh, that looks like me," and then I just took the poster down.
It's like,
I was like, never again. I was like, why did you ruin this?
Damn, Mom.
Did you tear it off the wall?
I took it down. Yeah. I was like, never again.
Like, tear right through the middle.
Right then and there.
Went away. Now he won't watch That's Star amazing. Wars. He won't watch Lady Thor. Whatever.
I'll watch it. It just
that lady just
feels different now.
It's not the same effect. You're like, I would not curse the Jedi.
No.
I will not go to the
She's
dark
actually
side.
the villain of everything she's in. That's the movie where she's a little girl. It's with the French guy.
The Professional?
Professional, yeah. It's like,
knows all the
she's actually the bad. He knows all
She's
the
a great
movies.
actress. I'm sorry.
It's like,
She is. She's
Professional?
great.
Yes,
I'm so
she was
sorry to
12.
tear
Yes,
the
I know.
poster down.
It was a poster of The Professional. That was the poster you had. It was like the little girl's Natalie Portman.
Exactly.
It's a good movie. It's a very good movie.
It is good. She is great.
What was my go-to there? Never mind.
So anyways,
Fast and Furious.
because growing up, people say you like either like the opposite of what you have or what you have. And so I'm like, well, people say that like there's been points where they've said I'd look similar to Paul Walker. I'm not saying completely.
Put up a side by side.
But there's points where I'm like, oh, okay, eye color, hair type, hair color.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's like a guy like he could like you buzz the sides and stuff, and it's like, oh, that's nice that someone would say that to you.
Not a bad comparison.
Yeah.
No. Yeah,
like I've been subbing before, and I go behind kids' Chromebooks, and they're like Googling Paul Walker, and I'm like, oh, thanks.
So you think so that thing, little kids, they see like certain features because
they would.
There are
kids
features.
would.
Obviously, your face is totally different than his, but like you have the blue eyes and the blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think like that's something that kids see, and like blue eyes? That's like the through line of similarities.
I think it
faces?
can be because
Okay.
it's like it's either blue eyes or big forehead Ryan Reynolds.
Because there are a lot of like ethnicities who, when they look at other ethnicities, they all see the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like there'll be like white people that see Asians, like they all look the same, or like Asians that see something else and they're like they all look the same, and it's like, well, no, they don't. They look very different.
Yeah,
but they all have like
done all the work
similarity,
to
like
check
straight
it out.
black hair or like eye shape, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Height. It's like it's weird how like some people will see that and think not see anything else or see that's the same, but then they really don't look the same.
Yeah, so as a kid, it's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
You're a kid. You're not open to all the world, and you haven't seen every kind of combination of person.
Right.
So, okay, cool.
Okay.
But then I'm like, well, I haven't really seen all these movies, and I've written like a script during COVID where I had one character kind of like say like, oh, he was in the Fast and Furious kind of past.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, wait a minute. I wrote that like not really knowing all about the movies.
Uh-huh.
And because when I just think of the movies, I think, oh, I might like these because they're kind of, it's like,
they're goofy.
It's goofy
movies.
action.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, is he really going to make this jump? I don't think so.
You know, people say like, it's kind of like an insult sometimes is be like a shut your brain off movie. Mm-hmm. That's very much a shut your brain.
It was, and
that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It does that well.
Yeah. And so in the first movie, Paul Walker plays Brian O'Connor, who is an undercover cop in the underground race scene.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get in with the Torettos. And there's just something about like, it's just weird because like there's not much to be like, oh yeah, I'm into this dude. But Mia, the sister of Dom Toretto, it's just like they don't have many scenes together, but when they do, it's like, boom, attraction. Mm-hmm. Boom, attraction. I'm like, oh, white boy Latina. Boom, attraction.
Uh-huh.
And there's a scene in the first movie where he's like going to her because she's washing the dishes, and he's like, the cook shouldn't have to wash the dishes. She's like, it's okay. And they do the thing where they're like at the same time.
I remember, okay. You said you haven't seen all of them. I also have not. I've seen 1 through 4. I've seen, because 3 is Tokyo Drift. I've for sure seen the first 2. I saw them in the theaters when I was a kid. And then the third one I saw not in the theater. And then the fourth one, it's just called Fast and Furious, right? Yeah. Okay, I've seen those 4. That's all I've seen. But I hadn't seen those first 2 since I saw them in the theater in a very long time. And then maybe like 5 years ago, I watched like parts of them. And it might be just me, but like they don't age well. Like they're still fun movies. But then it's like, so that scene in the kitchen, you're like, people do not talk to each other this way. It's like this is very much not a natural conversation that you would like when you're trying to hit on somebody.
Yeah, and this guy's gonna do the dishes for you.
Yeah.
Did you see all the people that's in this house?
And like the way he talks.
There's like 30 people in this house.
Yeah.
He's gonna do all the dishes.
Do dishes for an entire Latin party of people.
Good luck
You're
with
gonna
that,
be
bud.
here all night.
Man.
But then like the way he talks, it's just like, you know, like, Paul Walker, you don't talk like that in real life. Like, so like,
so
we're gonna, you shouldn't have to do the dishes. He says "cuz" a lot too.
Yeah. Oh, his second movie, the best line. He's like,
nah, cuz.
He's like, don't worry about it, cuz.
Yeah. You're like,
God, Paul, no. I know we're in Miami, but come on.
Yeah, they're in Miami.
Come on, Paul.
So the second one, that's the scene where he does the stare when he's driving at Ava Longoria, and you're like,
oh yeah.
And we're like, it's like, this is not a hot scene. It's like, you're like watching, like, something's gonna happen. Like, this is gonna be like, oh fuck, and like,
I don't
screw
know.
it up.
Now watching it now, it's like,
through eyes
is
today.
that easy?
Yeah, eyes and
It's
like
not this easy.
So when did that come out?
Just staring at people?
2001.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I guess it's kind of like of the era of just like really glossy, like, oh, that's so hot. Like, the way
it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work nowadays
now
because everybody, when their cars pull up, they're all on their phone. So they're not looking over at the other person. They're just instead of
hey.
And they don't even have to talk, and they're like attracted.
In that sense, that's what I mean when they don't really age well. It's just like the acting.
Yeah.
It's very like, okay, like
yeah. And then I noticed they had in Tokyo Drift, they had my phone from high school, like videoing the race. I'm like, that phone would not do
Was it a Razor or a Nokia?
No, I had the one with the bumper on it. It was like this military grade phone, and like the video wasn't good on that at all.
No.
There's no way. But Bow Wow is in that movie.
Yeah.
He has my phone, and he's like, look at this. Ooh,
I remember when I saw Tokyo Drift. I think that was 2005 or 6. I'm gonna guess that time. I was probably like a senior when I watched it, but I was thinking like, these kids all look way older than I do. Like, you always kind of notice that anyway in like high school age movies, but I was like, this motherfucker's not 16, 17. It's like 25. the main dude.
Yeah, the other white guy.
I was the other white guy.
Because in that movie, okay,
the guy from Flash.
Drift. I'm thinking there's no way there's a Latina in this movie.
In Japan,
he's going to Japan. There's not going to be. They're all going to be like a lovely Japanese chick.
Also, Bow Wow and him.
I didn't realize Bow Wow's in it.
Yeah.
So it's going, and I'm like, oh, he's an army brat. So the other army brats are going to be there, and I'm like, oh, that's how they find all the ethnicities there.
That's how they're able to speak English for the movie.
That's how they do, and they speak English, and they have all the. That's why everyone's represented.
That's why it's not subtitled.
That was wild.
Yeah, that one is funny. When they do the drift scenes, they're like. I know that's a culture in Japan, but like not like that. Like racing in the mountains, and you're like. All right.
Yeah. And the mountain they used was in Azusa.
Was it in Japan? Did they film in Japan?
They filmed in Azusa for that mountain.
Oh.
I looked that up.
Very much like turn your brain off and have fun, which is hard for me to do a lot of the time.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
So how far did you get?
I watched Furious 6, Fast 6 last night.
I think now they're just Fast number.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So
you still, the 6th one.
Are you going to watch Fast 7 tonight?
I'll try. I'm nervous to watch it because that is the one where Paul Walker passed away.
Oh, right. So he's like digitally in it in some parts.
At the end, yeah.
Okay. Wait, he passed during that one?
During the making of it.
They had his brother do the scenes and then put his face on his brother.
Okay. Yeah. So have you seen all of them?
I've seen some of them. Yeah, not all of them. Like I couldn't really remember. I remember that one. Like the later ones, I just started watching after 5.
Yeah.
Just because I don't really need to know what happened before.
Yeah, that was me. Right. Yeah, I was like, I don't need to see all the other ones
because they're so perfect. They're
not
so different.
Knowing what the other ones were.
They're because they're like spy movies almost, right? Or like heist movies.
Because people die and they come back to life anyway. So what does it matter?
I was like, what are you going to tell me they're dead here?
Han's alive?
No what? Yeah.
They're gonna bring back Gal Gadot even though she died in one of them, right?
Yeah, she fell off.
I didn't know she was in
the plane was going and the cars were like attached to the plane on a cord. She jumped off and like shot the guy to protect Han. Because Han
was the one that got brought back to life.
Yeah. Who got brought back to life too.
Yeah. I didn't know she was in those.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
She's good.
Yeah. You've been on you have the Fast and the Furious attraction.
Yeah, the ride makes a little more sense now.
Yeah. I think it's The Rock when he's like swinging from a helicopter. Yeah. He's got like both. I'm like, what is this? And I'm insane. Like, oh, okay. Well, he's not going to die. He can get brought back. So when does The Rock come in?
In the 5th one.
The wrestler, The Rock.
Because
the wrestler.
The Rock is sort of a mercenary cop, but like, of course, Vin Diesel's like, what are you doing here, cop?
Yeah, they have like a bald off, right?
Yeah, they have a bald off. Oh, when they're throwing each other around, it's the funniest thing. So it's like, and then the 6th movie, they find a guy who's bigger than The Rock. How do you find a guy that's bigger than this big giant white guy?
Is that an actor
like
we know?
Icelander dude. I don't know.
Was it some wrestler?
I don't think it could be an actor. It'd have to be a wrestler.
Okay.
Because where do you find that kind of guy?
Does he have any lines?
Yeah, he's like part of their
like
baddie group.
Oh, okay. Like, I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah, because that was one where Letty, Gina Rodriguez,
she died and came back.
She died and came back.
I remember she died in the last movie I saw.
And the only thing they say is that she lost her memory
after getting shot in the face. That's all that happens. No marks, nothing.
She's good. She's still pretty.
She's not missing an eye.
Latina.
Yeah.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh, sorry, I said Gina. Oh, because Gina Carano. That's where I got mixed up.
She got canceled, right?
She's in the 6th one. Yeah, she's a baddie,
but she's not in the 7th.
Nope. No, she wasn't.
Yeah, she was also in that Star Wars show, and they were like, "You're not coming back," because she said some shit. I don't know what she said, but it probably wasn't anything that crazy. Maybe it was. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't want to get canceled either. Yeah. Okay. The through line. Maybe this episode will be called "Marcus Says Some Wild Shit."
That's every episode.
Should be the name of the show.
We didn't bring up what I really wanted to call with the show because there's.
Let's get to it.
I'll send you the meme. You can enter it right here that I thought was just hilarious. Where it was just like a little picture of a frog, and it said, "I have to become sluttier." This is it right here. And I don't know why I thought that was like hilarious. Like not only really poignant, but also just hilarious. Like the way this frog has just got like his little whatever they're called. They're not arms. Those little feet things. to just cross, and he looks like he lost and thought like, I have to become sluttier. And like, it's meant to be funny, but it's also like, well, so like we were talking about ways to get more exposure for this.
And which is like, why I reposted it too.
Yeah.
Because I am excited about slutting it up.
Yes.
And talking to other people to get people on this pod.
Yeah, because you kind of have to. I don't necessarily mean sluttier and like, I mean, like just look like a slut or be like fuck around, but just like, you're going to have to like, for lack of a better phrase, whore yourself out a little bit.
Gonna have to play the game.
Yeah, to get butts in the seats or just like get exposure. It's like you got to kind of be a slut, healthy slut. This episode, Marcus is a healthy slut.
Daddy Marcus.
Daddy Marcus.
No, I'm always uncle. I'm not upgrading to daddy.
I don't know.
I'm not going to evolve. That's not my final form.
Like
my final form is uncle.
I don't know. I don't know if you can say that's a final form. I feel like you're at like Charmeleon right now.
With a little thing on his head. Got a little dick attached to the back.
He's angry all the time.
Yeah.
Charizard will be Daddy Marcus.
Okay. When I can fly and I'm just, I don't listen to my trainer.
I mean,
I don't have a trainer.
You can't be caught.
No, I can't be tamed. Can't be trained. But yeah, I thought like it is funny, but also like that is kind of like a good thought to have. Like you just gotta be a little sluttier.
Yeah.
If depending on what you want. Like if you want your thing to get like out there, it's like fucking whore yourself out then. And I don't know. I just think that's gonna be a good thing. And I wrote on there like 2023 goals, and it's like as a joke, but also true. Like I am gonna be more of a slut this year. Clip it. Clip it. Because I'm gonna be a slut.
Okay.
That's a clip.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Because there's gonna be more people on this pod.
Yeah, we've got. Well, you can.
I have a friend
tell your story.
coming on who directed and wrote a movie.
Nice.
And he's gonna come on.
Filmmakers on
and it was
this bitch.
one of those things where like he DM'd me. I'm like, damn, I should be doing this.
Yes, that's
I should be slutting it up.
Yeah, you kind of like did a pinky slut.
I know. I was like, oh wait,
Pinky.
I can answer your question. Yes,
You have to go.
I could do that.
Full slut.
I know. I gotta just rip it off.
Imagine if you that was your pinky slut and you got a filmmaker.
Ooh.
Imagine if you went full slut. Who you
What I
gonna
can
get?
grab. Ooh. Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, this 2023 will be the year of the slut.
You're a slut.
Healthy sluts.
Healthy sluts. Let's all just be healthy sluts. Let's all just be healthy sluts.
Together. Health, with consent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No stupid buffoonery.
No stupid sluts.
Yeah.
We don't want stupid sluts on here. What else did I want to talk about? I had something good. I should have wrote it down. I was thought about it while we were talking about sluts, and I forgot what it was.
The game?
You have a game?
Oh, I do have a game. It's a Fast and the Furious game. It's just, since we've done trivia on here before, I pulled up a Fast and the Furious trivia.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
So I didn't look through.
Here we are.
I pinned it. I didn't look through it. I didn't see. It doesn't say how many movies it goes through. I don't know how hard it's going to be. It's 24 questions, so we don't have to do all those.
Okay.
We'll do like 10. I mean, if you're getting them all wrong, then we'll stop. Okay. Oh,
Guess we'd have to.
Oh man, it started a timer. Let me try it again. Okay, here we go. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
How much time do we have left? We got some time. In Fast 5, how does the crew get Reyes to consolidate all his money in one cache at the Rio police station? The crew buries the money from one cache. The crew buries the money at one cache. The crew steals the money from the cache. The crew does nothing.
Do they steal it from the cache? I think they steal they steal the whole...
Wrong!
Giant...
The crew burns the money at one cache.
Wait, which movie?
Fast 5.
5?
Next question.
That's my favorite one.
Why does Dom work with Cypher in The Fate of the Furious? I don't know which one that is.
The late one, no.
Oh, is that Charlize Theron?
Yeah, it's Fate. So.
Well, we can guess then. She has kidnapped Elena and Dom's son. She has threatened to kill Mia. He wants to work with her. She has stolen his charger. I guess one of the first two. Kidnapped the son or threatened to kill Mia.
I think it's the first one.
That is correct.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Redemption.
I didn't know Charlize Theron.
Isn't John Cena in them,
This
too?
is Charlize Theron this Cypher.
He's in the last one, or the more recent one. He's the
Damn,
brother
they're really
they've
pulling the
never
names.
talked about. I've never talked about brother.
Wait, who? John Cena?
John Cena,
Whose
yeah.
brother?
Dom.
He has a white brother.
Vin Diesel?
I know. I'm like, what is... I thought that this was a family that was...
two Latin
that
kids
had deep Latin roots.
have a white brother.
This family has deep Latin roots. Why is John Cena doing that?
Have a giant...
Vin Diesel.
A giant white man with a big square head is their brother.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay. He has no Latin... Doesn't matter. Turn your brain off. Okay. While hidden from God's eye... This is also from the Fate and the Furious. While hidden from God's eye, which character is Dom able to persuade to help him break free of Cypher in the Fate and the Furious? Braga, Madeline Shaw, Jacob Toretto, Mose Jaconde.
I don't even know these people.
I'm going to guess Toretto since that's
Let's say
his
it's
last
Toretto.
name. No, it's Magdalene Shaw.
Who is that?
Fucking
Shaw? Oh, wait. Shaw.
In Fast and the Furious... Sorry, hit the next one.
Is that Jason Statham?
Oh, yeah. That does sound... Because Hobbs and Shaw was a movie,
Hobbs and
right?
Shaw.
Yeah. In Fast and the Furious 6, Owen Shaw calls out Dom for always putting what first? This is so easy. Just guess it without the...
Family.
That's right. Even I know that.
Family.
From all the memes. What does Carter Verone threaten Detective Whitworth and his family with in Too Fast, Too Furious? A gun, a knife, a tiger, a rat. A gun, a knife.
A gun.
Tiger?
It's gotta be a gun.
You said tiger? You say gun?
I say gun.
You're playing the game, so a gun. You're wrong. It's a rat.
Oh, rat.
In Too Fast, Too Furious, Carter Verone wants the corrupt Detective Whitworth to give Brian and Roman a 15-minute window of time in which to deliver cash without the threat of police. Verone puts a rat under a champagne bucket on top of Whitworth's stomach.
Oh, yeah, and the rat starts...
They did it on Game of Thrones, too.
They burned the bucket.
Yeah, he says
they burned the bucket.
They did it on Game of Thrones, too.
Yeah.
In Fast and Furious 6, what does Owen Shaw's crew steal from a military convoy in Spain? Helicopter, supercar, submarine, tank.
Tank.
That is correct.
Boom.
Okay.
Just watch that one.
Roman and Brian win a Camaro and a Challenger from two drivers in Too Fast, Too Furious. What are the nicknames Roman gives these drivers? Starsky and Hutch, Tango and Cash, Fonzie and Fabio, SpongeBob and Patrick. Let me guess one of the first two. Starsky and Hutch,
Or the first
Tango
two.
and Cash, Fonzie and Fabio, SpongeBob and Patrick.
I think it's Tango and Cash.
Wrong. It's Fonzie and Fabio.
What? I don't remember them saying those names though.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever.
We'll do two more. In Fast and the Furious 6, which character's return prompts Dom's crew to go to London in search of Shaw? Vince, Johnny Tran, Letty, Hernan Reyes.
Letty.
Yeah.
Letty.
She got shot in the face and she's just fine.
She's okay. She beautiful.
In Fast 5, Tej and Roman, unbeknownst to each other, both buy the same type of car with the money from the heist. What is the car? A Lexus LFA, Nissan Skyline GTR? No. Acura NSX, Koenigsegg CCXR. I think the Lexus or Acura.
What do you think it is?
Lexus.
Yes.
It won't be the Skyline.
Well, I guess Lexus. Yeah. It's not Skyline.
It was the one I couldn't say. Koenigsegg CCXR. German.
Damn it.
Our last
These are
one.
hard. These are harder ones.
The Wiz Khalifa song "See You Again" featuring Charlie Puth was created for the Furious 7 soundtrack. It's a tribute of which actor who passed away. We know that one. Paul Walker. There's 14 more. I don't want to do all those.
Those are kind of hard.
Yeah, they were hard. And they use all the movies that you haven't seen.
And it's hard because these are movies where you turn your brain off.
Yeah, you're not
watch
like,
them.
what was the intent behind the character's
Yeah.
motivation? They have no motivations.
What's
Family.
Why did they pick that car? Which car was it? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I'm talking about too. Is I want to go to Vegas. I haven't been to Vegas since 2020. The week before the shutdown happened, I was in Vegas, and it was so much fun. I had so much fun. I was there with a group of people, but yeah, I was just like, it wasn't a rager or any, like I was drunk, but it wasn't like a rager kind of trip, and like I was playing a lot of slot machines, which like.
Ooh.
It's been so long since I've played slot machines that like I've last played when I was like 21, 22, and then playing again. This was 3 years ago now. So when I was like 31, 32.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like slot machines have had quite the upgrade in like the last decade. Cause like these machines are fucking crazy where it's like, first of all, they're huge. Like they're really tall. Cause I always don't notice. I just walk past them in the casino. So I don't ever want to play them.
Yeah.
Cause you don't really win on them. It's just kind of like a fun thing time killer. But like I was looking at some slot. I was on Instagram and I was on some page. It was like a slot machine page. Like, these are fucking crazy.
Goddamn.
They had like a Karate Kid slot machine where like it's like a fighting game where they start fighting each other when you get like a certain spin. And there's a Dune one. There's like just crazy slot machines. Or I want to go to Vegas, just play some slot machines. Go to like a nice dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Just get trash, not too trash because I'm old now, but like not like 21-year-old trash, like 30, 40-year-old trash.
Classy
like,
trash.
You're still in bed by midnight.
Yeah.
In
Responsible
Vegas,
trash.
In Vegas, maybe like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Not like 6 a.m. like it used to be.
Let's do it. I've been in the airport.
It's not the same.
But I haven't been to
the airport's
Vegas.
not the Strip.
It's not. I haven't been since I was 21.
Since we took you that one time? Oh my God.
It's going to be my 10-year anniversary of that.
Damn.
This year.
Fuck. And we didn't really do anything.
We didn't do much.
Yeah, we just were young kids.
So I'd be down.
Yeah, let's go. And then we can do, I'm planning if we go to maybe do some content for this too.
It would have to be content related. I would feel bad if I went out and I didn't do content stuff.
No, then I'm going to have to go too. So
exactly.
Caesar, my birthday's April 5th.
Some 30s in the street stuff.
Ooh, in the streets.
Yeah, or on the road. Maybe in the streets sounds a little more like a slut.
But sluts,
yeah,
the sluts. Come on.
30s in the street.
30s in the streets.
We're doing it on the street.
Take it to the sheets next. Yeah.
Do the sheets.
We have an OnlyFans, 30s in the sheets. Yeah, I want to go to Vegas. Like they've got such good food there too. I miss going out to nice restaurants in Vegas because they have like celebrity chefs have their own restaurants and like everywhere you eat is good. There's never like where do we eat? It's like every casino has multiple restaurants. If you have reservations, you have to kind of figure it out. But like everything is good.
Yeah.
It's never like we're gonna go to fucking BJ's. Sorry. Like no, we're not going to BJ's. We're going to Gordon Ramsay's latest fucking whatever. Oh, I have an idea for I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah,
Keep going. Keep doing that impression.
No. That'll be for the next episode because we're running out of time.
God.
But yeah, it's good.
Do you have any pet peeves this week?
Pet peeves this week.
Quick pet peeve.
Oh, I feel like I had one.
A quick one.
Other than award shows.
Yeah, other than award shows. I have just one about sports talk shows.
Go for it. Do it.
They were talking about who they think the MVP of the Super Bowl would be before the playoffs have started. Why? Why waste my time? No. No.
No.
Be MVP of what? The game that hasn't even been planned yet?
Getting ahead of themselves.
God, yeah, way too far ahead of themselves.
Football's in a weird place, interesting place right now because of DeMar Hamlin, where it's like,
oh my God, I'm so glad he's good. That was
great.
scary. I was watching that game.
You watching it live?
Yeah.
Okay. I watched the clip after I heard about it.
Yeah.
And I don't follow football, and I'm not going to, but I have to think now, aren't players maybe going to be a little bit more afraid to like really, I don't know, like, I feel like it's going to be like a thing now where it's like, okay, like we just saw that somebody, even though football's been around forever and this is like a statistically very low thing to happen, like we just saw somebody die, essentially. I feel like people might be a little scared now, football players, to be like, I'm not going to like fully take someone out.
Because what's happened the past few years is they've had more rules about targeting where your helmet is like hitting another person at a certain spot.
Right.
So they're trying to protect players with that. But like the way like he was hit too, it was like the helmet hit his heart. Like it hit his chest heart.
Just like stopped his...
And he was the one tackling too.
Yeah.
Like he was the defense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like for that hit to happen, that's a very specific spot. And it's like, I think that you would probably take a step back now.
Yeah.
And be more careful.
Or it's just going to be one of those things that's kind of in people's brains now. It's like somebody like just through like a regular play just died, came back, but like he was dead, right? Like essentially he was dead. So I don't know. And then even like I don't watch football, so I have no basis for what I'm talking about. It just seems like there's so many injuries in football that I don't know. It's like, why are we doing this? You know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But just seeing this now, it's like,
take care of your bodies. 30s.
Yeah.
These people are younger than 30s.
They're like
and
in their
30s.
20s.
Getting hurt? Come
like
on.
Tom Brady's 45, and I looked that
Yeah.
up. He's 45. Like he's like a freak though.
Yeah,
but
he's
like,
a freak. Tom Brady's a freak.
It's like why are these? They're getting paid a lot of money, but like why are they doing this to their bodies for this game? I don't know. It's just it's kind of a weird for me who doesn't play football or follow football to wrap my brain around. Because obviously you can't just stop playing football. It's like a huge thing. It's a lot of people love it. It's like it's a moneymaker. It's a fun activity. But I'm just saying we stop gladiatorial games from happening. Those don't happen anymore. I don't know. Again, I don't know what I'm talking about with football, but just like as someone who doesn't play football and I've seen it before, and you're like, oh, like this looks brutal.
Yeah. God bless Damar Hamlin, and let's see what the playoffs are gonna.
So who's your MVP then?
My MVP?
Yeah, before the playoffs.
The game that hasn't started yet.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, I wanted the Eagles to go.
Okay.
Because I had Jalen Hurts, but then he got hurt.
Another injury.
So I hope it's him. Hope he comes back.
Yeah.
Hope he comes back and they make it.
Okay.
Hope so. Jalen Hurts.
So we'll end on death. That's a good place to end. He came back. He's not permanently
He's okay.
dead.
Who did not die.
He did not
Christmas
die.
Carol reference.
Oh. I wouldn't know. That's just from Scrooged, because I watched Scrooged.
It's from that too.
Oh, okay. Well, fucking whatever. Anyway, we'll wrap it up here. Clint, where can they find you at?
Let's do Instagram and Twitter, I guess TikTok.
Yeah, your name's on the bottom right
Facebook.
there. It's the Clinton Show. Clint Show.
At the _Clint Show.
Clint Show.
Here
Okay.
we go.
Same thing, just only Instagram, really. Uncle Marcus, 2 underscores. We have our own Instagram page, 30s Pod, I think it's called. But yeah, our YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the things.
Yeah, reach out to us if you want us to promote something.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
So let's all elevate
If you
ourselves
got
together.
something, let's do it.
Let's all be sluts together.
Let's let it up.
And thank you for being here. See you next time.
Thank you.